Okay, so I bought a mini welder. It's got a flux core wire. It does not have the capability of gas, which is just fine. So I love the monkey. It'll carry anything I want. Okay, I'm here, still here in Algeria, and discovered a few issues with the bus, one of which is down here. It's the middle bracket for the water tank. So that threaded rod has come off, popped its weld up on the frame. So I'm going to get my welder out and fix it. I just had to run down to Leroy Merlin and buy a welding helmet because that's the one thing I didn't have. So let me get all my stuff out. So here's my safety first setup on kind of a road here, but so let me crawl underneath and see what damage I can do and see how my welding helmet works. I just bought that today. Let's see. So this one goes up. I might have to jack up the middle somehow. Okay. I think that's pretty good right there. You might be able to see what's going on, maybe not. Hopefully I can see what's going on. It's not connected to anything at this point, but I'm making sparks. What's going on? Okay, now it's not moving. The wire feed isn't coming out anymore. The feed spool is moving, which means it's jamming up inside the tube again. So I gotta take the tube off and clean out the wire feed. Take out the set screw here. Yeah, there's nothing coming out. It doesn't feed into here. So I am off to buy a new welder. Good afternoon, guys. It's Thursday. I'm heading out to Algeria tomorrow, and I want to try to fix the water tank bracket on the bus. So today I'm going to unpack the welder I bought yesterday and see if it works. Basically, I got to make sure it works with the 2000 watt inverter and make sure I have everything I need. What is this little thing? Oh, spare welding tip. Okay. So the only thing extra I bought was a roll of welding wire. So it's a small little welder. Which should work fine. It actually comes with a stick. It's got the MIG welder, the flux core wire gun, and the grounding cable, and then also for stick welding, which is nice. Comes with a little hammer and scraper. What else? And an instruction booklet. Okay, so the wire feed one goes into here. That's easy. The grounding wire is going to go into one of those. Okay, I think I got the welder plugged in correctly, or the cables anyway. I've got the ground strap here. It goes to the negative. This bottom one is positive, this top one's negative. I'm not exactly sure where this one goes, but and then the feed line screws into here. Now the power for this will be interesting. I've got it plugged into my regular UK plug up there, which comes down to here to another UK plug. And I'm changing UK plug to a 3-pin shore power connection. Then I'm going to go 3-pin to 2-pin because the welder takes 2-pin. So using all my adapters again for that. The on-off switch is back here. Let's see. Okay. Fan turns on. It's going through a warm-up cycle. Okay. A little breezy today, but nice and warm. Okay, try not to lose these pieces. Not getting any movement here. Why not? All right, let me look at the book. I'll be back. Okay, I think I figured out the issue here. I had it set on, I guess, stick mode, so it wasn't wire feeding at all. And then I had to make some adjustments inside here, tighten up the pressure on the rollers and loosen up the pressure on the roll of wire. So I think it should be working now. It's stuck again. Why? It's feeding now. Let's see if it keeps going. There we go. Made it through. Let's make sure I can pop a weld on it real quick. Why would I not be getting any spark? Okay, figured it out. Went online, found the manual. So this pigtail or whatever goes into the -1, and then the ground actually goes into the +1, or what I've learned is the service clamp. Okay, so that's proper now. Now I should be able to get a spark. I do get a spark, and I'm wondering whether we turn the volume down on it. I'm wondering now if I've got enough amperage coming from the inverter. See if I go down to 20 amps. So it wants 20 amps at 240. I'm not sure I'm supplying that. All right, let me go ponder the options here. So an update on the project with the water tank bracket. I could not find a 3,000 watt inverter, which I didn't think I could find one locally anyway. So welding is off the table at this point. So I was looking at how I could use the brackets and bolts and everything to hold it up. So I'm in the process of making a bracket, drilling some holes, and going to attach it to the frame rail. But hopefully I can get all that fixed up in the morning before I head over to the ferry. But I don't need to be at the ferry till 8 o'clock tomorrow night, so I've got a full day to play with. So I'm just editing more videos, and there's a policeman outside, but they've been cruising around. So no big deal. It's Friday the 20th, so I'm leaving for Algeria this evening. I've got to finish putting this bracket on. So this one will bolt to the frame, and then this threaded rod will come up through here to drop down and hold the bracket underneath the water tank. Oh yeah, and this is all being done in the parking lot of the IKEA in Algeria, Spain. But there's plenty of people parking here longer than I have been. So the police have been happy with me and everything. Alright, so this bracket is going to get bolted right there. Yeah, so it'll just be bolted like that for now. That bracket's bolted up there. I just used a short piece of threaded rod and nuts on both ends. So now this lower bracket, I just have to drill another hole in here, and then the threaded rod will go up through both holes. There we go. Okay, so I already measured the threaded rod needs to be about 10 inches long. I'll cut that, and then I'll put it in here and tighten it right up. Through there, I got a lock nut here, so I don't need to double up the nuts. Okay, that's good. Like I said, I don't need to make it too snug. I could still get a little bit more on it, but it's taken some of the weight anyway. And that's success. So I will put all my tools away, pack up the garage, and then start getting everything else ready to pack up for the trip.